Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I make templates, plastic templates, for my patterns. So when I printed off this pattern, I just printed it off on regular printer paper. If I think I'm going to use a pattern multiple times, then I'd like to have it sturdy. So in this video, I am going to show you how to take paper patterns and transfer them into something a little bit more sturdy. What you need to complete this project is you'll need your pattern pieces, and then you're going to need the flexible cutting mats. Comes in a pack of 2. You want to make sure you get one that's clear enough that you're going to be able to see the pattern on the other side. You'll need a Sharpie and some scissors. So all you do is just take your pattern pieces and lay the cutting mat on top. And then you'll want to just trace around the entire pattern, making sure to put any information on this piece that you're going to need when it comes time to complete the project. I will probably leave off the seam allowance. It says on this pattern that it's a 1/4 inch. I typically use a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So unless it's something other than a 1/4 inch, I'm not going to mark it. But you mark whatever it is that you will need to remember to complete the project. So here I go. The Sharpie I'm using, it's a fine point Sharpie, makes it a little bit easier. Now on this pattern, it's a plushy pattern. There is some spots where I will have to leave a gap, and it shows that on the pattern. So I make sure that I'm adding that to my tracing. I just did a rough trace of the outline. Now I'm going to add the arrows. Before I did this plastic method, what I used to do is I would just print it on cardstock, and then I would take some clear tape, some shipping tape, some packing tape, something that's kind of thick, and I would just cover the piece front and back and then cut out around it. It's not as secure, but if that's all you have on hand, then it'd make it last a lot longer than just the paper piece. But I prefer this method when possible. And that's it. You can, kind of looks a little scary when it's printed out like that, but that's as easy as it is. Okay, so there's one sheet traced, and I'll just move on. Oh, I forgot to trace a part. Got a little excited there, I guess. Some of these tinier pieces, I may not be able to put as much information. Honestly, I find that I usually put way too much information on here, and after I've made it a couple times, you really just need the shape of it. But just in case, doesn't hurt. Okay, let me get my other mat. It's funny when you start this and you're writing and it's all neat and perfect, and then by the time you're at the last pattern piece, you're just kind of not as neat. So I was able to get this complete pattern on these 2 pieces, and there was 4 pages to this pattern, 4 standard 8.5 by 11 printed pages. And I'll have just a little bit left. I'll just stick that away in case I get another pattern with some small pieces. And these will last for a very long time. When I cut them out, I'll just put them in a baggie, label it, and then file it away with my other patterns. So now that the tracing is complete, you want to cut them out. In this material, it's not so thick that I'm having a hard time cutting it. A good pair of scissors will cut right through. And you can see it's nice and sturdy. It'll be a lot easier to take this, trace around my fabric, trace around my piece on my fabric, than to try and use the floppy paper. So I'm just going to cut these out. Oh, I just thought of something. So another reason that I like to use the clear plastic for my patterns instead of just using the paper is sometimes when I'm making something, maybe I want a specific piece of the fabric to show, maybe on the belly, or if it's an animal, if it's a stuffy, or if it was a quilt or whatever else it was. When they're clear, you're able to take it, lay it over the fabric, move it around, and you can still see the fabric through it. So if there's a specific area that you want to highlight, you could just set it on there, move it around till you find it and trace around it. When you have the paper or the cardstock pattern, it's not really possible. You can kind of do it, but it's, I don't know, I just like using these a lot better. I can grab a piece of fabric in a minute and show you what I mean. Okay, so I'm gonna lay this fabric down just to show you what I mean. So say I wanted this witchy part and I wanted to make sure you could see it. When you set it down, it's very easy to see right through it. If I was to set the paper on there, not so much. I could kind of guess where it is and approximate it. But if it was something small or something super detailed, you might not be able to get it. So just another reason that I like to use these. Feel free to leave your tips in the comments on how you keep your patterns organized. All right, well, that's it. Here they are, all my perfectly cut, clear, sturdy pattern pieces. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more of my videos, hit the subscribe button. See you later. I guess that's all. It's like paper pattern, plastic pieces, Sharpie, scissors, trace, cut, keep.